Good afternoon guys and welcome back as always to a new video on this new channel. Today we're going to talk about 5 lessons that you have learned from these Roland Garros. But before we start with the video, as always, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. We are at 202 subscribers at the moment, which is a huge number, but we don't have to stop here. We have to go to even higher numbers. The goal is to reach 300 subscribers before the start of the US Open. That's a tough goal, but possible in my opinion, in my view. Then I invite you also to activate the notification bell. That's for you, because if not, you will miss the videos. As you know, I don't post videos at a specific time, apart from this summer where videos are going to be at 4 p.m. I think. Yes, they're going to be at 4 p.m. if I remember well. Then I also invite you to leave a like and share the video as much as possible, and leave a comment sharing your thoughts and sharing the 5 lessons that you've learned from these Roland Garros. So I have here a diary where I wrote some things and actually remember them also in my mind, so I don't have to look at it. The number 1 lesson that we learned from Roland Garros is to never underestimate Novak Djokovic. So I especially talk about myself, because if you watch the live streaming that I did before the French Open in the Men of the Sports channel, I've said that Novak was going to lose in a turn down against David Fokina. Well, probably wasn't 100% convinced about what I was saying, but I really had the fear that Novak wasn't going to show up at the French Open and play his best tennis. The form Novak was coming into at the French Open was really worrying. We know that he lost in the second round in Monte Carlo against Roland Musetti with a very bad loss. Musetti didn't even play well. Then he lost against Lajovic in straight set in Mayaluka, and he ended up losing in the quarterfinals against Holger Rune. So that was in Rome. So the form he came into Roland Garros was scary. Honestly, I didn't expect him to win, even though the competition is not that much on clay, since Nadal is practically retired and this year didn't play. Yes, the only scary one was Alcaraz, and I actually thought that Alcaraz was going to win the whole thing, but unfortunately due to his injury, that for sure was a big advantage for Novak, because that match would have been really tough. But as Nadal says, I quote him, if doesn't exist, so who cares about Alcaraz's injury? What we care about is that Novak won the 23rd Grand Slam title, and he won the French Open. So lesson that I've learned, honestly, and I think that also a lot of you learned, because I don't think that a lot of people thought that Novak Djokovic was going to win. So drop a comment and say to me, did you believe that Novak was going to win the French Open? I didn't believe at all that he was going to win it. I knew that there was a tiny percentage of him winning. In my mind, there was a tiny percentage of him winning, but there wasn't for sure a percentage of a guy who was the favorite, or one of the favorites. So a lesson that I think I've learned personally, and that all of us learned from this French Open, is that we never have to underestimate a champion such as Novak Djokovic. The same was probably for Nadal and Federer when they were playing, but this video is about this year's French Open. Second lesson that I've learned, is that Iga Świątek is the clay dominator in women's tennis for the next 5 to 10 years. I say 5 at least, because I don't see, Iga Świątek is 22 years old. And at least until she's 27, I think she can dominate the French Open. I'm not going to say that she's going to win all of the next 5 French Opens, because it's a really tough task. Not even Nadal won 7 consecutive French Open titles. The max that Nadal did consecutively the French Open was to win 5 titles from 2010 to 2014. And that is a huge achievement. What surprises the most is that he won the title 4 times in a row, 4 other 2 times, from 2005 to 2008 and 2017 until 2020 respectively. And that's a huge thing to do again, to replicate. Do I think that Iga Świątek can win 4 or even 5 consecutive titles at French Open? Yes, but I think that Iga Świątek is going to be she's going to be the clay dominator, the queen of clay for the next 5 to 10 years. I don't see anyone who can match her game on the red clay, honestly. On the other surfaces, there are players that can match her level, her game. We've seen Arina Sabalenka, Elena Rybakina, that on grass and hard courts, especially on grass. I think on grass they're better. On hard courts, they're the pretty same level, even though maybe Iga at her finest, is slightly better. But what I believe is that on clay, if Iga plays at her best, no one can match her level. So I believe that Iga Świątek is going to dominate the clay court season for the next 5 to 10 years approximately. So in the next 7 years, let's say something in the middle between those two dates, I think that in the next 7 years, Iga Świątek is to win at least 4 French Opens. 4 to 6. I don't think that she's going to win 7 out of 7 because that's huge. That's mind-blowing. I can't even describe that achievement potential. Imagine winning 9 consecutive French Opens. No one has ever won 9 consecutive Grand Slam titles. The maximum that I remember about French Open titles maybe is a woman that won 7 consecutive titles at a Grand Slam, but I don't remember which one specifically. I'm sorry for my ignorance, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong. A player actually before the Open era in men's tennis who won 7 Wimbledons. Of course, it's going to be someone from Great Britain, but his 6 consecutive Wimbledon titles came in the 19th century. So I don't know how much value it has, given that back then foreign players who weren't allowed to participate in tournaments. This male, Rancho is called something like that, won 6 consecutive Wimbledons. That's the longest streak someone has ever had at a Grand Slam. And in the men's game, in the women's game, maybe someone has gone even further. Maybe, I don't know, maybe yes. Third lesson, Novak Djokovic is still, I looked at it in order to confirm that in my mind I already had it, of course. Novak Djokovic is still the world number 1 in tennis. He's still the best player in the world. So, to everyone who doubted him, including me, Novak Djokovic on Grand Slams is a different beast. Guys, Novak Djokovic won 3 of the last 3 Grand Slams he played in on 3 different surfaces. That's huge, guys. Think about it. He's literally dominating Grand Slams. No one is able to reach his level, perform at his level. The guy is out of this world on best of 5 matches. He's on a 21 win streak. That's huge. Think about it. 21 win streak. The last man who was able to defeat him in a Grand Slam was Rafael Nadal at the French Open. And we know that Nadal at French Open is the toughest task in the history of the game. And Rafa played very, very good in that match. And still, he won in 4 sets. And the most incredible thing is that he was very close from going to a 5th set. Actually, 1 point away in 2 occasions, if I remember well. In one occasion, Nadal was able to hit a fantastic passing shot down the line with his backhand, similar to the passing shot that they hit, I think, in a 2021 semi-final. And on the other occasion, an unforced error from a Djokovic's backhand cross-court. So we learned that Djokovic is still best players in the world, at least in Grand Slams. 4th lesson that you've learned from the French Open. The next gen still have a long way to go to beat Novak Djokovic in best of 5 matches. So Novak Djokovic is at GOAT level, which is at the ultimate level. Because I don't like the GOAT debate a lot. Sometimes I like to put some, I like a discussion to be a little bit hotter, maybe, the good debate. I like it. I like this thing. I like this factor, but I'm not a big fan. I'm not a huge fan of GOAT debate at all. But let's say ultimate level. Novak Djokovic is at ultimate level in the history of the game. in the last 25 years at least, in the 21st century, the new millennium, is at a level that is not matched as of today. The next gens still have a long way to go. Honestly, I thought that Carlos Alcaraz was going to beat him. But people are saying, including us, yes, but if he brings Novak to a fifth set, if he brings him to a fifth set, but what I want to talk about is that Carlos Alcaraz lost physically in the third set, at the start of the third set, for playing 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, no, even less, 2 hours and 10 minutes against Djokovic. So, does it make sense that in a fifth set, potentially Djokovic would lose because physically isn't as fresh as his opponent? If his opponent already loses physically in third set, does it make sense at all? I don't know, honestly. It's a great point to talk about. But what you have learned is that in best of fives at least, in the biggest occasions, the next gen still have a long way to go to beat Novak Djokovic in Grand Slams. Only very, very, very strange circumstances must happen in order to see Djokovic dethroned in a Grand Slam. Think about the last participations of Djokovic in a Grand Slam tournament. So, the last 3 Grand Slam he played in, he won. And we know it. French Open, lost to Roland in the quarters. Greatest tennis player of all time in a surface. Then, other thing. Let's think about another occasion where he lost. Daniil Medvedev, US Open 2021. Huge pressure for a Grand Slam, tired after an exhausting season. And Medvedev played the match of his life that never played again. 3 sets to love lost. It's very special occasion. US Open disqualified. And we go back to US Open 2019, lost against Dan Wawrinka in the US Open. We go back to French Open 2019, lost to Dominic Thiem, match of his life without any shadow of doubt on clay. So Djokovic in the last 2-3 years, 2019, it's 4 years ago. Don't talk about 2019. 2020 onwards, he only loses if he's disqualified, if he's either disqualified, if he faces another French Open, won't happen again, most probably. And Daniil Medvedev's best match ever, coupled with Novak that faced huge amount of pressure that couldn't handle. So those are the circumstances Novak loses in Grand Slam. Fifth lesson that I've learned, and the last one, I only have 2 minutes to record, so I have to be quicker, even though I'm in a good time scale. Casper Ruud is a big player. So the guy reached 5 big finals. I know that he hasn't won even one, but he's really consistent, and that makes him a top player. To reach 3 Grand Slams final in the last 5 Grand Slams he played in. Let's start from last year's French Open final, Wimbledon, second round. Then we have US Open final, Australian Open, second round, and here Wimbledon final. So, Roland Garros final. Novak, Casper Ruud, I'm sorry for my errors and for my voice, but I don't have a lot of voice left. Novak Djokovic, guys, it's annoying to hear me do mistakes like these that are stupid. Casper Ruud is a big player who produces and plays his best tennis on the biggest occasions apart from finals. But let's talk about this. Next gens are not able to win against Djokovic in finals of Grand Slams. Only Medvedev is the next gen that was able to do that. So what I want to say is that, oh my gosh, I have no voice left. Novak Djokovic, I know, guys, you hate me right now, but it's fair. I understand it, and I will do the same possibly. Casper Ruud is a big player, a top player that deserves to be where he is right now. This is the video for today. Thank you very much for all of the support. Subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, leave a like, share the video, and drop a comment in the comment section. See you in another video. Ciao!